did this horrible thing.
But when he tells you he's committed a shocking crime,
This is obscene.
do you do your duty or what's right?
Do a bad job.
All new Family Law, CBS Monday.
This week on Dave, don't miss Ben Stiller, Mark Wahlberg, Jason Alexander, Minnie Driver, Spike Lee, and Regis Philbin. It's all new all week. Now your local news.
From the heart of the tri-state area, street level on Fifth Avenue, you're watching News 2.
From abortion to soft money, New York Senate candidates Rick Lazio and Hillary Clinton debate the issues and take some swipes at each other. Good evening, everyone. We're glad you're with us. I'm Vince DeMentri.
And I'm Amanda Grove. Earlier today, right here on CBS 2, Rick Lazio and Hillary Clinton faced off in their second debate. News 2 reporter Marcia Kramer was with the candidates as they took the gloves off.
Chelsea Clinton sat in the audience at today's debate between New York Senate candidates Hillary Clinton and Rick Lazio. President Clinton watched from their home in Chappaqua, but he was there in spirit as his wife defended her decision to stay with her husband after his affair with Monica Lewinsky.
I've made my choices. I'm here with my daughter, of whom I'm very proud. We have a family that means a lot to us. The choices that I've made in my life are right for me. I can't talk about anybody else's choice. I can only say that mine are rooted in my religious faith, in my strong sense of family, and in what I believe is right and important.
Mrs. Clinton was asked that question because a large number of viewers had emailed CBS 2 asking for an answer to it. Lazio, who took heat in the last debate for being too aggressive, was careful this time not to criticize his opponent on that issue.
I think this was Mrs. Clinton's choice, and I respect whatever choice that she makes.
For the most part, the debate focused on issues, but each side got off one good attack line. Mrs. Clinton mocked Lazio's decision in the last debate to approach the podium and demand that she sign an agreement on banning soft money from the campaign.
I do want Mr. Lazio to put your mind at ease in case you've been worrying. I won't be coming to your podium today, but I will be addressing the issues that are important to New York.
For his part, Lazio managed to get off a line about the Clintons' penchant for rewarding campaign contributors with overnight stays at the White House in Camp David.
Mrs. Clinton, please, no lectures from Motel 1600 on campaign finance reform.
The biggest point of contention between the two candidates came when they were asked about supporting Mayor Giuliani's dream of building a dome stadium on the west side of Manhattan.
I don't think that's a good use of that space and place or of taxpayer dollars. I think there is a lot of work that we need to do to upgrade the infrastructure of New York.
I believe that this is an important development, an important initiative to try and build jobs, more jobs for New York.
And courting the Jewish vote, they both condemned the United States for abstaining at a United Nations vote condemning Israel in the recent violence. But in Hillary's case, the man she was condemning was her husband.
I believe that it was a wrong move not to have vetoed it, that it was inaccurate and one-sided. It did not address the violence that I believe is fomented by Chairman Arafat and the Palestinian Authority.
They need to know that we stand behind them, stand by their side. I do not support a call for a Palestinian state. My record is one of 100% consistency for security of the State of Israel and for our alliance.
Finally, each was asked to define a New Yorker.
I'm very, very proud to have been a lifelong resident of this state, to have had all my roots here, my friends and my family from this state. And I'm going to be very proud next year to go back with the voters' help and God willing to represent this great state in a way that will make it proud.
What it means to be a New Yorker is to be the best human being you can be, to do the best with your life you can do, to dream the biggest dreams, and to get along with everyone else to demonstrate that we can make this wonderful patchwork quilt of a place not only work, but demonstrate to the rest of the world that people from different backgrounds and experiences not only can get along, but build a better future.
I'm Marcia Kramer, News 2.
Now, debate is not just about the candidates expressing their views. It's also about each other getting the upper hand against their opponent. News 2 reporter Lou Young has that side of the story.
In the press room adjacent to the debate studio, one of the first audible reactions came when our ever-blunt political correspondent asked the First Lady that question about leaving her husband.
And because you are such a role model, why you stay with your husband?
Hillary sidestepped, but the moment may have been a missed opportunity for Rick Lazio. One Republican spinmeister bemoaned the fact that Lazio didn't more aggressively leap to the defense of his opponent's privacy. Lazio had apparently decided to stay low-key this time around, even afterwards, repeating his mild-mannered debate response.
I think the point is this race is about issues, and that's what my answer was, that I think we should stay focused on the issues here in this race.
While he seemed to be much less aggressive this time out, she seemed to be much more relaxed and confident. Still, in the surreal world of political spin, it's difficult to get the pros to agree to anything not previously approved for the script, even if it's positive. Hillary's people had trouble admitting she had improved since the first debate.
How do you think she improved from her first outing?
Well, I thought she was great the first time, and I think she was great here.
So no improvement.
She was poor. she was slightly better this time. Great last time. Improved since then.
Both sides lined up partisans to make contradictory and vehement assessments, including present and former mayors.
I think Hillary was awesome.
And I think he did an excellent job. He did a better job than I would have done it.
The biggest stumble of the day came not during the debate, but when Governor Pataki, while spinning for Lazio, attacked Hillary's use of a quote by author E.B. White in describing what a New Yorker is.
Mrs. Clinton quoted some guy, Wyatt or somebody, I don't think he was from Brooklyn, with some definition of a New Yorker that you must have read somewhere. I don't know who that guy was. I don't know what he wrote.
Undoubtedly, the governor now wishes he knew that E.B. White, author of the children's book Charlotte's Web, spent most of his career writing a column called Talk of the Town for a magazine called The New Yorker.
Having set their respective spins in motion, both candidates hit the street immediately, literally, Fifth Avenue, the Hispanic Day Parade.
There were cheers and some blank stares among parade goers, most of whom could not have seen the debate, which ended only minutes before. Among New Yorkers who did watch, both candidates got points for poise, even among those who disagreed with their respective politics.
I thought she was much more in control. I thought her answers were better. I thought she was terrific.
What about him?
I thought he was okay.
Hillary was slick compared to Lazio, but I would still support Lazio.
On the Senate campaign trail in Manhattan, Lou Young, News 2.
Well, regardless of what your position is tonight, there's no debating the fact that the New York Mets are simply amazing. They clinched a spot in the National League Championship Series by eliminating the San Francisco Giants today, and boy, did they do it in stellar fashion. News 2 reporter Aimee Nuzzo live at Shea Stadium, where their playoff victory, guess what, triggered a celebration, right, Aimee?
Yes, well, it's a pivotal night for both New York teams. The Yankees are battling it out with the A's in Oakland as we speak. The Yanks in the lead, and they have to win this game tonight if they're going to advance to the American League Championship. But as for the Mets, they did what they needed to do tonight here at Shea Stadium.
Here we come, big man. Here we come. Hit shutout. A masterpiece.
After cleaning up the divisional series with a third win over the San Francisco Giants, a painless 4-zip, fans were in the mood to party. And so were the Mets. Champagne-soaked, they set their sights on the next hurdle. They'll face off against the St. Louis Cardinals for the National League Championship.
St. Louis, you wanted us, right? You got us. Here we come, baby.
I was hoping for Big Mac to get injured, but you know what? I don't want him to be injured. I want the Mets to clean it up with Big Mac playing, and we're going to win.
While on the other coast, the Yankees were working on sealing their ticket to the American League Championship with a tie-breaking knockout third win over Oakland. New York was already a step closer to becoming a World Series baseball battleground. A Subway Series pitting the Yankees.
I'll be rooting for the Yankees. The Mets will win. Yeah, right.
Against the Mets.
If, in fact, it's a head-to-head with the Yankees a couple weeks from now, we'd love to steal their thunder.
Right now, the Yankees are leading the A's 7-5 in the 7th inning in Oakland. Whoever wins this one will go up against the Seattle Mariners in the American League Championship, and also has a shot at being in the World Series. Now, of course, the possibility of a World Series matchup between the Mets and the Yankees will be squashed if Oakland wins tonight. Live at Shea Stadium, Aimee Nuzzo, News 2.
Thank you, Aimee. The pressure is building for Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat to stop the violence in the West Bank and Gaza. Rioting continued in the Middle East today. The White House released a statement saying the U.S. government believes Arafat has the power to end the fighting. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak has given Arafat an ultimatum: end the violence by sundown Monday or face breaking the peace process.
On the ground.
We know that he can stop it, so if he doesn't,
we cannot but draw the conclusion that if he doesn't want to make peace.
Now, some rioting continued on Sunday, which was Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year for Jews. Barak closed Gaza's airport after border inspectors were attacked there. More than 80 people have died so far during this latest wave of Middle East violence. And today, the body of a former New York rabbi was found shot to death in the West Bank. Rabbi Hillel Lieberman immigrated to Israel 14 years ago. He had been missing since yesterday. The unrest in the Middle East sparked protests on the streets of New York again today. Members of the Jewish group, the Kahain movement, demonstrated at the Palestinian Mission to the United Nations, which is located on East 65th Street. The protesters were calling for an end to the violence. No one was arrested.
A Bronx synagogue has become a target for violence. Police say bottles were thrown at the conservative synagogue, which is located at 250th Street and the Henry Hudson Parkway, and that happened earlier today. A glass door was shattered. The good news is nobody was inside the synagogue at the time. So far, there have been no arrests, and tonight police presence has been stepped up at all houses of worship throughout the Bronx. Just one day after taking the oath of office, Yugoslavia's new president has begun the tough job of forming a new government. Vojislav Koštunica must deal with several political appointees left over from the 13-year stranglehold of former President Slobodan Milosevic. Control over the Yugoslavian army is critical, and after meeting with their new president today, top army brass criticized the days of unrest that helped bring him to power. A bigger problem for Koštunica may be the fact that the country is bankrupt after a decade of anti-Milosevic sanctions and widespread corruption. In Poland, exit polls show President Alexander Kwasniewski winning a second term as president. Kwasniewski was heavily favored to win. It was the third presidential election since Poland shed communist rule a decade ago. One of the 11 candidates trailing far behind was Solidarity founder Lech Walesa. Kwasniewski defeated Walesa in a close election to win his first term in office.
And still ahead on News 2, a New York police officer is behind bars tonight accused of rape. We will have the details.
And we'll tell you how police say they caught the man who killed a father of 8 at a Manhattan parking lot.
And
You've got good luck.
On a lighter note, I have another sporting event to tell you about, share with you. Hot Diggity Dog. You can call it the Wiener Dog Derby or the Dachshund Dash, but regardless of the name, there's no denying it's the toast of the town in Savannah, Georgia. The Dachshund race is the highlight of Savannah's Oktoberfest celebration. Hundreds of dachshunds dash 55 feet in pursuit of, you got it, treats. Okay, not all of them dash. Some even don't get past the starting line, but that's not important. Folks in Savannah say it's not about winning. What is important is observing yet another Southern tradition, and there they go.
Yeah, they're only saying that because the Braves lost.
Thanks for saving that story from me.
Still ahead, coming up tonight on News 2, he plays the president on television, but it wasn't an act when he got arrested. We'll explain. Coming up next.
Kohl's grand opening sale. Your chance to get the lowest prices of the season at Kohl's. Get our lowest prices of the season in every department. In men's and women's clothing, in kids' wear, in shoes, and for the home. Get the lowest prices of the season at Kohl's grand opening sale. Plus, get bonus buys through Monday. Get the lowest prices of the season at Kohl's.
Open a Chase checking account and get frequent flyer miles for everything on your to-do list. Errands that don't seem very rewarding could be earning you Continental One-Pass miles. Get One-Pass miles with a Chase Continental Airlines banking card. The first debit card that gives you miles for every little thing you buy. And the only way to get one is to open a Chase checking account. Then, when shopping seems less than rewarding, at least you've got the miles. Chase, the right relationship is everything.
What does Rick Lazio think of?
As many of you know, Martin Sheen plays the president on television, but his real-life defense policy apparently has landed him in jail. The West Wing actor was arrested along with 22 other protesters in Santa Barbara this weekend. About 200 people demonstrated against Star Wars space technology outside Vandenberg Air Force Base. Sheen wants the program stopped. Those arrested were cited with trespassing and refusing to leave. They were warned not to return to the base for at least 1 year. Then they were released.
All righty. And that is News 2 at 11 for this Sunday night. I'm Amanda Grove. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Vince DeMentri. For all the latest news, be sure to tune in to News 2 this morning. It begins bright and early at 5 a.m. Sports Wrap Live's coming up next. Have yourself a great week. We'll see you back here next weekend.